Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode with the Dope Black Vet. I want to continue talking about the holidays and things to look out for. I know I missed Thanksgiving, but I dare not miss Christmas because there are a lot of things that you need to know when it comes to Christmas and your pets and making sure that things are done accordingly so that we don't have any trouble this holiday season. So as we jump into things, one of the first things to be mindful of is your decor. You'll probably notice we all have our trees up. We have different types of trees and plants and things all around for the holidays, but our pets tend to think these things are quite interesting. So first, let's look at our Christmas tree. Some of us have artificial trees, others have fresh trees. A lot of our fresh trees can be pine, they can be spruce, they can be balsam, they can be all these different things. But one thing to be concerned about when it comes to your fresh Christmas trees is that some of these Christmas trees can actually be toxic to pets. Not to mention when you put water or water your trees, a lot of pets will go under the trees to drink the water out of the tree bowl, and sometimes the additives that we place in those bowls can have different toxins that could become toxic to pets. So be mindful of your fresh trees and the water additives that you put into your water sources when you're watering your Christmas trees. Pets will drink water out of any source, so if they see it's there, it's easy access, they will definitely go for a drink from the Christmas tree bowl. Also, if you have things like poinsettias, I have some fancy poinsettias here in my living room, but these things too can be poisonous to pets, along with mistletoe and holly and your different bouquets that may contain lilies. So try to keep those things out of reach for your pets so that they can't ingest them. These things can also be toxic, and some can maybe set up as a foreign body. So that can warrant you a trip to an emergency facility. With that being said, make sure that you have your local emergency facility for your veterinary clinics on hand, just in case something happens. You know what's open 24 hours, 7 days a week, so that you can have access to go quickly if you need to. Also, you want to have your pet poison control hotline number nearby, just in case you need to call to ask some questions about some things your pets may have gotten into to determine whether or not you need to see your local vet or your emergency vet. Another thing that we need to think about are our lights. This tree is adorned with lights along with ornaments. Lights can cause a potential burn hazard to our pets because some of these puppies are curious. They're chewing cords that could potentially cause electrocution. So you want to be mindful of any electrical outlets, appliances, cords that may be dangling that your pets can reach, things that they can chew that could cause electrocution, which can cause respiratory issues amongst heart issues. So keep those things out of reach for your pets as well so that they can't chew on those cords or burn themselves on the lights. Another thing is making sure your Christmas tree's tied down. Sometimes our pets, especially kitties, like to climb in trees and they play and they may accidentally knock them over. So if you have small pets or small children that may knock trees over, it's ideal to have your trees tied down so that your pets can't cause an even more hazard, so that these trees can't tip over and possibly injure them as well as other people. So you also want to be mindful of your ornaments. Some people have plastic, some have glass. Cats and dogs tend to think they're balls and may knock them off the trees. They may play with them. They may do different things with them, but they can break. They could cause traumatic injury and cuts and things to their paws, to their mouth. They can ingest some of these bulbs and parts of our Christmas decorations that could become foreign bodies that could warrant emergency surgery. So keep that in mind as well, and keep that number to your local emergency vet as well as the pet poison hotline through the ASPCA handy, because you just might need them. Another thing to be mindful of with your pets this holiday season, we all love to eat. We are cooking delectable desserts, we're cooking great meals, we have a lot of protein sources, and our pets smell these things happening in the kitchen and they want some of it too. So no table scraps for your pet, no ham bones for your pets, no turkey skin and turkey. All those things can be high in fat. They can cause liver issues. They can lead to pancreatitis, once again warranting you an emergency visit to the vet. We want to spend all our money on gifts, not necessarily making sure that our pets are staying safe and paying a bill that is very unexpected. So be mindful of not giving your pets delectable foods and things covered in gravy and sauces, or you might end up at the emergency clinic. Also, desserts. Think about your desserts. Lots of things being baked with chocolate, cookies, peppermint, things that may be sugar-free, because once again, just like before, we talked about possible xylitol toxicity from some of our sugar-free candies and sugar-free desserts that could be harmful and cause liver issues in your pets. So put those things up high on a high shelf so that your puppies and kittens and old cats and dogs can't get into things, even away from some of these grown-ups, because they're the same way, right? So just keep an eye out for those things so that your pets can have access to those. Burning candles. Cats tend to think some flames could be pretty interesting and may consider walking on a candle or getting too close, knocking them over, becoming a fire hazard. So keep your candles out of reach as much as possible. Be mindful that your pets are interested in these things too. Some of us may have guests in and out of our home for the holidays, even if it's small in number since we're in a pandemic. But your pets may not be used to these people, and sometimes people like to bring over their pets as well. It will be ideal for you to have guests to leave their pets at home because your pets might not be as comfortable if they're not used to being around them. Also, making sure that your pet takes anxiety medication as needed, because if you have guests that your pets are not used to, this could cause them some extra anxiety and they may try to run away, get out the door as quickly as possible, injure themselves, excessive barking, and just high anxiety and discomfort. So make sure your pet has their anxiety meds at least an hour before any triggering event. And give them a safe space, a small room, a small closet, the laundry room, somewhere where they have a familiar place, familiar smell, and familiar items that can make them feel a little bit more comfortable. Once again, you can definitely reference our episode that talks about anxiety and thunder shirts and pheromone collars and pheromone diffusers, things like that that can help out with your pet. So make sure that you have your anxiety meds. Also, making sure that you have your pet identification available, like their microchip numbers and their vaccination history and places that they frequent, like dog parks or boarding facilities or even their veterinary clinic, just in case they accidentally get lost or run away from high anxiety or accidentally get outside for whatever reason. You want to have access to those things rather quickly, just in case you might need them. To jump back into decor, tinsel. Some people decorate their tree in tinsel, and cats love tinsel. So with your tinsel, your bulbs, your ornaments, anything that you may have around, be careful with these things because they definitely could pose a risk for your pets ingesting them, causing some foreign bodies that we might not want to have removed at some point that can cause some financial constraints. So with those things being said, be mindful of this holiday season. Have a safe and happy holiday. Until next time, I'm your Dope Black Vet, and I'll see you soon.